85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
The savings continue all November long at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln. They're extending their red tag sale with machines priced at invoice plus $300. That's it. No freight, no setup, no extra fees. Plus 10% off snowplow kits, 10% off fly motocross gear, and 50% off all in-stock road tires. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered all under one roof with a large selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, motorcycles, and personal watercraft at their 27th and I-80 location. They can't wait to get you set up for the holiday season.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome in to the Corner 3. Taking you around the arc of college basketball. From the NAAC to the Pac-12, the WCC to the SWAC. We cover it all now on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Austin Oerman.
That's right. Welcome in. It is another edition of the Corner 3. Whether you are watching live or listening back via the podcast, thrilled to have you along for the ride. If you are listening live, let us know, 402-464-5685. Drop a comment on stream as well, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Allo channel 961 up and available for you. If you're listening at the end of old school, you know it's a 3-man weave tonight. We got Jacob Bigelow, Wilson Moore of the Omaha World Herald here in the studio. Gentlemen, thank you so much for doing this. The last time we were gathered together in this setting, we were in the podcast studio making our March Madness picks. I forgot to formally tabulate the points, so I'm just going to say we all won.
Yeah, we all had fun.
We all had fun, because who doesn't have fun in March with college basketball? There's my sales pitch. We all won. It was a fun it was a fun tournament. The real winners were the friends we made along the way, right?
Indeed. That you stole the words right out of my mouth. We are going to put some players in your conscience tonight here on the Corner 3. We are doing the Our Guys draft. We pride ourselves on paying attention to college basketball. The season is off to a rip-roaring start. And we know that some of you are still in football mode, which, okay, fine, whatever, good for you. But basketball season is officially in full swing. Who are the names that you need to know? Let us know your favorite players, 402-464-5685, whether they're well-known or not. Here's the format of this. It's going to be a draft style. It's no fun just to say, oh, this is a fun player. Yeah, he's fun. I agree. Go back and forth on that. No, we can do better than that. We can be a little competitive. Picks will be stolen. Names will be taken off the big board. We're doing it draft style. We will do essentially an 8-round draft of players, and then we will take a coach at the end as well. All that in store and more over the course of the hour. Without further ado, the first pick of the quote-unquote Our Guys draft goes to you, Jacob Bigelow.
It's an honor and a privilege. I'm very humbled and very blessed to have this number one pick. And with the first pick, I'm going to select the current second leading scorer in the Big Ten Conference. He currently plays for the Minnesota Golden Gophers, and his name is Cade Tyson.
You went there.
You did it.
1 overall.
And I did. I went there. 1-1. Cade Tyson. This group of three is very in on the Cade Tyson reclamation project this season in Minneapolis. It didn't go well for him at North Carolina, but at Belmont, he was so much fun, one of the best shooters in the country, and he's off to a rip-roaring start. That's my old-timey. He's really, really getting after it so far for Nico Medved's Gophers. Small setback for them the other night in Columbia, Missouri. Small setback. It's early. Year one for the Nico Medved experience, but I'm all in on the Cade Tyson experience. Him hitting step back threes. I viscerally was reacting to some tough shots that he was making the other night. And I'm like, this guy is a ton of fun. I'm all in on the Cade Tyson experience.
Which one of you two was it that dropped in the group chat how close he and Braden Smith were to being teammates?
That was me. Yeah. Braden Smith. I didn't know this before. It was in an ESPN story by, I believe, Jeff Borzello. Mentioned that he got his offer from Purdue came somewhat late, and he was going to go to Belmont if he hadn't gotten any high major offers.
That's crazy because that Belmont team, Biggs, I think you pointed it out.
Mm-hmm.
Cade Tyson, Braden Smith,
Jacoby Gillespie,
Ben Shepherd.
Ben Shepherd is in the NBA. Yeah. It would have been, yeah.
It would have been a right proper 9 seed in 2007, but unfortunately, we don't live in those times anymore. So Cade Tyson off the board at 1-1. Jacob, it goes to you next. Who is the second pick of round 1?
I just picked. You said the wrong name.
Wilson. Sorry,
Yeah.
Wilson. Sorry. We don't give him Jacob back-to-back. That's not fair. Wilson.
Oh, with the number 2 pick, I am selecting a big man who came to Lincoln, Nebraska in the spring of 2024 as a member of the Michigan Wolverines. He is now a UConn Husky. I am taking Taurus Reed.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
Look, I like that archetype of big man. He is tough. He's physical. It is fun to watch him just put his shoulder into a dude and just be a wrecking ball on his way to the rim. He blocks shots. He gets rebounds. I enjoy watching Taurus Reed play basketball.
I once watched him play in a Class C gym in Grand Island, Nebraska many moons ago when Link Academy played Sunrise. And yeah, Grady Dick and Mark Mitchell and a bunch of other dudes were in that game. And so was Taurus Reed. Shout out to the Heartland Hoops Classic and GICC.
You guys have gone completely off the wall for your first two. I knew that Cade Tyson was getting selected. I knew that was happening. Taurus Reed, I did not realize that was your vibe, Wilson. I did not realize that he was your guy. I learned something already.
Look, I'm doing this strategically. I don't know if I was worried someone else was gonna scoop him or what. But
you make it seem like it.
I've got some deeper cuts down the road that I know neither of you are going to pick, so I can save them. I don't know why I was worried about you guys taking Taurus Reed, but you know what? I have no regrets.
I am not in on Taurus Reed. I thought that was a weird addition for UConn, but he's made it work. Good on him and good on Dan Hurley. I'm probably going to take the most mainstream pick of our first round here. Just in terms of fun players that I think the world needs to know, I'm going to take my guy Isaiah Evans.
Okay.
I got to do it. I know it's a homer take. It absolutely is. But watching him light up Auburn in the first half, really keep Duke afloat in that game. Almost had the Grayson Allen type run where he came on late in the year to propel the team off the bench. Didn't quite happen, but he's a starter now. Won't play much defense. He's a better shooter than Brandon Ingram, maybe a slightly worse handle, but same exact archetype. I mean, flamethrower, gets hot in a minute, and certainly more demonstrative. Right, you've been waiting at Duke for that, kind of edgy white guy that pisses everyone off for a while.
We've been waiting. I think there are quite a few of them.
I mean, was Cooper Flagg the one that really pissed people off?
I guess.
Did Concanipple piss people off? Like, it was supposed to be like the Joey Baker, Alex O'Connell run where we had one of them. Yeah. It didn't happen. I think Isaiah Evans is probably too fun to piss people off, but he's going to needle some fan bases. He made a splash again in his second homecoming to Charlotte. Did a big run in the ACC tournament last year, helped Duke beat Texas in the season opener. And he's just fun. I mean, Isaiah Joe, I think, is the comp for him for NBA scouts. Very exact same first name. Probably not a big-time player at the next level, but certainly in college, I think he's an X factor more than a glue guy for Duke.
Yeah,
So.
no, this is a quick side tangent. Speaking of Duke white guys, did you see the Charlotte Hornets have like the high school team dinner at Con Knippel's parents' house in Wisconsin? And that was one of the funniest pictures I've ever seen in my entire life. Like high school basketball style, like, so glad to have the Hornets over for dinner tonight. It's the most Midwestern thing I've ever seen. And Con Knippel didn't piss people off. That guy was so wholesome. Like he was so pure. And now his little brother's getting recruited. He was at Butler recently.
I was gonna say we're Con Knippel's brothers who all look exactly like Con Knippel also at that dinner.
They're in the front row. Yep. In fact, you can see you see Cager in the background, kind of the blonde hair right about there. They're all just hanging out. That was going to be, if we had some time, my class act of the week. We hand out class act awards here on the show. Shout out Sherry Knippel, Nordgaard Knippel, for hosting the New Orleans Hornets for the high school team dinner.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Beautiful. We love it.
It truly is. Matt Hardesty, friend of the program, we might know the name as well. It is class act material, but dang it, I hate how cool the younger Knippel's lives are right
now. Yeah, no, that is true. They went to school this morning and they're like, how was your Thursday night? Well, the Hornets came by. The Hornets came over for dinner, so that's
which is
cool.
Literal and not some like weird metaphor or euphemism.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not West Side Story. The Hornets are not some group of people in Wisconsin that just showed up.
They are not. They are the actual, honest to goodness Hornets. Wilson, round 2 flips back to you. You get the first pick of round 2. Who are you taking?
I am going to go to the Southeastern Conference, to Columbia, Missouri, to my alma mater, to take Anthony Robinson.
Ooh.
I know who you were thinking, Austin. I decided to zag when you thought I was going to zig. But yeah, just a super athletic, like on-ball defender, all defense SEC last year. Just a fun athlete. You can get out in transition. One of the few like guys with real NBA like aspirations on that team. Yeah, Anthony Robinson.
Did you think I thought you were going to go with Mark Mitchell?
Yes, I did.
Mark Mitchell feels a little mainstream.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah,
mm-hmm. I think you made the right choice. I really like that for you. Okay, so my next pick is also going to be named Anthony. He's a journeyman. Started his career at San Francisco. Ended up at New Mexico State. From there, he went to Green Bay for a year after sitting out. And now he is a part of the Steve Lutz reclamation team.
Oh.
I am taking the nation's one-time leading scorer, Anthony Roy. Has not suited up for Oklahoma State yet, does not have any stats recorded. He should be back from an injury soon. The man in 11 games last year averaged 33 minutes, shot 43% from 3 on 10 attempts per game, on his way to averaging 25.7 points. He's essentially taller Marcus Howard. He's taller Carson Edwards. The man is a bucket, and Oklahoma State might not be bad, folks. I'm on the Anthony Roy bandwagon right
Let's
now.
Go. Steve Lutz. Pretty, how mad do you think Gottlieb got when he wound up at his alma mater and after he benched him for showing up late to practice, right? Wasn't that the story? Showed up late to a shoot around or showed up late to practice and he benched his best player. Gottlieb was probably so damn mad.
If he was even on campus at that point. He did have his day job to attend.
He had to do what we're doing right now, talking to a microphone. But that's a good pick. That's very on the nose. And now it comes back to me to make just a blatant, and I mean blatant, homer pick. If you know anything about me at all, you can see this coming from a mile away. We're staying in the SEC. He went kind of nuts at the Garden against St. John's. He didn't play last year. Well, he played for a little bit last year, and then he got hurt, and Alabama tweeted out a graphic that made it look like he died. I'm, of course, talking about my fellow Omaha Central alum, Latrell Wrightsell Jr., who I think is still one of the better on-ball defenders in college basketball. Bias, whatever, I don't care. That dude has always played hard. That dude will always defend you 94 feet. And so what? I'm making homer picks. Okay, someone's got to do it. It happens in all these drafts, and I'm off to a pretty good start. I like my team. My team is on the floor. I'm Norman Dale. My team is on the floor, and I'm off to a great start with Cade Tyson and Latrell Wrightsell.
Well, we've all made a homer pick.
As soon as you said SEC, I knew it was Latrell.
If he would have said Big 12, we would have known it was Jaden Dawson.
Yeah.
But he said SEC.
He's got Jaden's got to do a little more than just getting cardio at Allen Fieldhouse. To that's what kind of all he's done so far is he's out there to get cardio. But no, one of them. Well, I had to get a Central boy on my team, and we're going with Trelly.
We are through 2 rounds so far in our guys draft for college basketball. Round 3 will begin with me. I'm headed back to the Big Ten for this pick. Maybe a little more mainstream, but probably a little overshadowed even on his own team. I am going with a big man transfer to the Matt Painter factory. I'm taking Oscar Clough, guy who began his career at Washington State, then goes full Mike Daum in 2025 for South Dakota State before transferring into Purdue. The big issue for Purdue last year, interior defense. They grabbed a guy in Oscar Clough who's averaged essentially a block per game for his career, about 1.7 right now. One of the best rebounders in the country, averaged a 12.3 boards last year. Incredibly efficient on the inside. He's going to be overshadowed by the guys we mentioned at the end of old school, the Smith and Kaufman-Wren connection, even Lawyer. Daniel Jacobson comes back for Purdue. Oscar Clough, to me, though, is kind of the X factor for this team. I don't know if he's going to be a star, but he's going to play. He's going to play well and fill a big need for Purdue. And so for that reason, I'm taking Oscar Clough as my primary big man right now here in round 3.
I like that. That's a good pick. There's an alternate universe where he's not at Purdue. He's a little closer to here, about 40 minutes up the road. There's an alternate timeline. They could probably use some physicality inside, but they like guys from the Quad Cities with bad tattoos instead. So that's how that wound up.
Don't we all?
Don't we all? Don't we all?
We all have a type.
Yep, we do. We all have a type.
Jacob, it is back to you. Second pick of round 3.
All right. This is going to be a blast from the past. Some people will probably remember this guy, and they'd be shocked to learn this guy is still in school. Speaking of white guys with questionable tattoos, we're going to go to the gateway to the West, St. Louis, Missouri. Robbie Avila is still in college.
Nice.
People forget that Robbie Avila is still in college. As a goofy looking guy who wore rec specs when I played basketball, and I wasn't afraid to chuck shots. I loved that Indiana State team with shirts a couple years ago. It didn't really get rolling in year 1 in St. Louis. The A-10's it's in a weird spot. They put up 109 earlier this week. Robbie Avila only had 9, but he is still in college. So he gets an honorary slot on my guys' team.
What is the best Robbie Avila nickname? Do we have a favorite?
I mean, the main one that jumps out in my mind is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's one. I think that's the one. I know there was a laundry list. Now I'm just thinking of you did not. This, speaking of white guys with rec specs, you have seen what some people in Philadelphia are calling former Husker Gavin Griffiths, correct?
Indeed.
That is very good.
That is, and for those who don't know, it's LeBron frames. There are people in Philadelphia calling Gavin Griffiths LeBron frames.
That is inspiring.
And
that is
an incredible nickname. Who knows? Maybe someone takes a flyer on Gavin late in the round here, late in the draft. But I like where I'm at.
I can't lie. I am more in on Larry Blurred than I am Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Larry Blurred. That's good.
I mean, they're all good. You get Larry Nerd versus Larry Blurred, Steph Blurry, Milk Chamberlain, and then of course in the spirit of the day, Rob Wave.
Okay.
So
yep.
Robbie Avila was on my list. I have to begrudgingly cross him off. So well done, Big. You steal from my list. Wilson, your third pick here. It's back to you.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a similar move to Jacob in the second round and take a guy from my neck of the woods, taking a Twin Cities guy, and that is Trey Holloman. Formerly of Michigan State, currently playing for Will Wade at North Carolina State.
Shout out Will Wade.
Free Will Wade gang.
Free Will Wade.
Free Will Wade.
We free Will Wade gang here.
But yeah, Trey Holloman, just he was a mature player. I have a soft spot for guys from the Twin Cities. I enjoyed watching him on Michigan State. I think he's a guy who just brings a lot, a little of everything. And I think this hypothetical team I'm forming just needs some of that connective tissue.
I like it. I was not the biggest fan of Trey Holloman's game. Maybe it's just because I didn't understand Michigan State last year. But I think at the end of the day, I got to give Trey Holloman more credit than Jaden Akins last year.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I just don't understand Michigan State. Last year,
I never
or this year.
I never understand Michigan State. Every year I come into the season just in the cold on Michigan State. And it also feels like they're one of those teams that when they have high expectations, they don't meet them. And when no one expects anything from them, that's when they win their first 13 games in Big Ten play.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, you've gone from Denzel Valentine and Miles Bridges and Cash Winston is a guy that we let slip through the cracks way too easily as a Big Ten, general populace to, okay, now you're like Iowa football. Where are you finding these guys? Like, how are you developing them? Like, if you can't tell me that Carson Cooper and Jackson Kohler aren't the random Iowa offensive tackles that you found out in the boonies and developed. Like, I'm not sure they're good, but they're good at doing their job. And I think Trey Holloman almost exactly fit that for Michigan State. And heaven knows North Carolina State needs some adults. If we are free Will Wade gang, you need some maturity and some level-headedness on that team.
You do. I made this joke during the Michigan State Arkansas game. Like, does every Michigan State point guard like get handed a headband? Like when they're told they're the starting point guard, like it's passed down, like from guy to guy.
Neil.
It's like the turnover chain or whatever. It's the yeah, whatever, Izzo just calls his guys Spartan dogs, corny. But it's just like here's a white headband with a green Nike swoosh on it. You're the starting point guard. Like that's how they announce it in East Lansing.
I don't want to spoil anyone's pick, so if I do, I'm sorry. But a sneaky underrated guy in that NC State roster, Terrence Arsenault, I was all in on him last year at Houston. I was all in on the Terrence Arsenault breakout. It did not happen. I think he's going to play a big role for this team. And I know we've all talked about it various times. I mean, if you watched that Clemson-McNeese game last year, you would have been hard-pressed to figure out which is the ACC team. And now that Will Wade can get ACC caliber transfers, I don't like how much I like this NC State team.
Yeah.
By the way, my favorite Will Wade moment from that, or maybe it's not even a Will Wade moment as much as a Will Wade's team moment, was McNeese is trying to just run out the clock. They get a steal. They get out in transition. There would make way more sense to just pull up, get into a set, run 30 seconds off the clock. No, they try some just insane degree of difficulty alley-oop, and it worked. It was electric. I was in Providence. I was there covering UNO.
Of course it did. It always works if you're Will Wade. That is incredible. All right, so through 3 rounds, Jacob has Cade Tyson, Latrell Wrightsell Jr., and Robbie Avila. Wilson has Terrace Reed, Anthony Robinson, and Trey Holloman. And I have Isaiah Evans, Anthony Roy, and Oscar Clough. We will reset here in round 4 of the draft. Jacob, it is back to you.
All right. We're getting
let's get weird.
We're getting a little,
let's get weird.
We talked about getting niche here. We're going to the Big Sky.
Hello.
Love that.
We're going to the Big Sky Conference. Okay. We're going to Missoula, Montana.
Of course we are.
And we are going to the preseason Big Sky Player of the Year, who put 30 on Josh Pastner's face earlier this week. And then he also put 19 on Stanford, and he has a great name. Money Williams. Woo! Leading scorer for your Montana Grizzlies. One of the best names in college basketball. Bay Area kid. Just, he's got some stuff to him. I'm not going to swear. He's got some stuff to him, tough, hard-nosed, Bay Area guy. There's some good ball. There's some good ball in the Big Sky. I've talked to some people in that league. That's just like, if we're going to Missoula, we know he's going to get his. We know we're playing them. He's going to go get it. NIL era, you need some money on your team. You need some money on your roster. I'm all in. That's we got a backcourt now. We got a tough backcourt now. I like my team. I like my team a lot.
Off to a fun start. All right, Wilson, your pick in round 4 is?
I see your tough backcourt, and I raise you a guy recruited by Matt Painter. I'm taking CJ Cox.
Oh!
You know what I love about, the guys Matt Painter brings in, and this applies to CJ Cox, this applies to Jakari Harris, Braden Smith, Fletcher Lawyer, regardless of how highly recruited those guys are, the guards who come to Purdue, they come in and they are fearless.
Mm.
Like that, I forget if it was Cox or Harris who had no high major offers, and Painter is just like, you're one of my guys. Like, you are not afraid of anything, and that's what he looks for. And CJ Cox, just tough physical defender, guy who can knock down the three. Guy I want on my team.
I'm trying to look this up right now. I'm going to guess it ended up being, I don't know. Well, Jakari Harris was the number 75 national player, and CJ Cox was the number 42 combo guard. So I'm going to assume it was CJ Cox. How about that? Out of Milton Academy in Massachusetts, out of nowhere. Interesting. I like it. I like where we're going. I need some of that toughness in my backcourt. I got 2 scorers right now in Isaiah Evans and Anthony Roy, Oscar Clough on the interior, but I do need that kind of adult in the room. Again, maybe not a niche sort of pick, but certainly not the headlining star that this program, this university has become known for. I am taking Otega Owe from Kentucky.
Okay.
Former Oklahoma guy, provided some fireworks against the Sooners a couple different times last year. This is my bulldog. This is my nose to the grindstone sort of guy. Can score probably best when he's not asked to. He fits kind of the Sion James mold to me in terms of guy that probably shouldn't be handling the ball, but will. 6'5", 210, going to take on the tough defensive assignments, averaging just about 2 steals and blocks per game combined for his career. He'll rebound. He'll stick his nose in there. He's got that gamer element to him. Got to shoot a little bit better from 3 for me to be comfortable, but he's a career 35% guy. So I assume that balances out in the long term. So big school, but I think a guy that for Kentucky standards doesn't get quite the love. I'm in on Otega Owe.
I like it. I like that. People were worried he wasn't going to play the other night in Louisville, and he did. And that game was weird, but it's November for a reason. That's a good pick. That's sneaky. I like it.
Do we like games like Louisville, Kentucky, and even on the women's side, Nebraska, Creighton being in the first 10 days of the year?
I don't hate it. I mean, it's going to happen at some point. I like things spread out a little bit more. Let's have some good games spread through November and December until we get to conference play.
Yeah, I can see the argument both ways. Like last night, Purdue, Alabama's on ESPN2 when it's because Troy, Old Dominion football is on the mothership, and it's going up against the NFL, and no one was like, I really need to watch the New York Jets. But they would have liked a bigger stage for that game last night. That's a marquee matchup. I like the early season rivalries. Obviously, in a perfect world, you'd like them in January when teams know who they are and whatnot. But it brings some juice early in the year. Gets people fired up early. Like we said, you may still be in football mode or what have you, but it's a good way to get people.
Gets the people going.
It does get the people going. We're up, marquee games, big brands, juice. We need it.
That we do. We need to get to round 5 here. We'll take a break after this round. Wilson, you get the first pick of round 5.
I need a little more size on my team.
You do.
And I'm taking Solomon Washington,
Ooh.
formerly of Texas A&M, now of Maryland.
Texas A&M East.
Texas A&M East, Under Armour A&M, Texas A and Under Armour out in College Park.
Anyway, I've got a soft spot for guys who just get after it on the offensive glass, and that's what Solomon Washington does. He may be a little undersized at 6'7", but he just plays ferociously, aggressively. Nebraska fans might remember him in Memphis. He gets after it, and now with a front court of him and Taurus Reed, we're getting every offensive rebound here.
Yeah. No, that's tough.
I do have to question your judgment just about 10%. Pharrell Payne was still on the board.
I felt like he was a little too. I mean, Pharrell Payne is also my fellow Minnesotan.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm a little surprised here.
Yeah.
Was I overthinking it? And he's a little too.
Is he too mainstream?
Is he too mainstream?
He
is
might
he only
be.
too mainstream because I'm from Minnesota? And
I will tell you, I would have thought of Pharrell Payne first before Solomon Washington, so that probably makes Solomon Washington the right pick.
Yeah.
I'm just a little surprised you didn't go with the Minnesota guy.
I guess I am surprised in myself too. And Pharrell Payne, as I was going over this afternoon, who I want to look at, his name did cross my mind. My scouts did discuss him.
Yeah. No. Well, you miss. Is it me or is it you, Austin?
It'll be my pick.
Your pick. Okay.
It will be.
Okay.
And then we'll go to break.
Cool.
Ooh, excuse me. Got sneeze there. I need a power forward here as I'm trying to do a somewhat traditional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I got a lot of options here. I'm sure some of these guys were in your minds as well. I could do the Homer thing again and go with Cam Boozer. That seems kind of boring. I could go with the breakout guy in Koa Pete. That also seems kind of boring. And then we get into the fun names. Do I want to go for scoring at my power forward position? Do I want to go for kind of that glue guy? Do I want to take the upside swing? But I think at the end of the day, I'm going to have to go to Ames, Iowa and take Joshua Jefferson.
Oh,
a guy that did not get a lot of credit for that Iowa State Cyclones team, who does the dirty work for him. 6'9", playing that power forward, maybe even center sometimes. I mean, you think about Lipsy, you think about Jones, you think about Gilbert getting a lot of the credit. Even Mumsilovich, right? He's supposed to be the guy in the front court.
Yep.
I think Joshua Jefferson is slept on. He's not going to put up huge numbers. He's important to this Iowa State team that I think is due for a little bit of a step back this year. I'm not sure if Jefferson can step into a much bigger role, but either way, that's a guy that I think deserves the attention of some of this populace. Iowa State will be on TV. They'll be a factor in the Big 12 race. And so I think he's the perfect glue guy to help tie my starting lineup together.
Yeah, there's a matchup between him and TKR looming in a few weeks when Iowa State goes to Mackey, and that will be that may register on the Richter scale. Those two, going at each other, back and forth when the clones go to Mackey.
All right, Jacob, you get the final pick before we take our first break of the show.
Well, guess what? Wilson let a Minnesotan slip. I'm not going to let a Minnesotan slip, but I am technically, because I'm not taking Pharrell Payne, but we're staying in the Big 12, Austin.
Okay.
And we're going to
Were you worried I was taking your guy?
No.
Okay.
No. We're going even more on brand for me, because whenever I come into this town and whenever I'm talking into this microphone, there's one high school basketball program in this city that gets my props. That's the Lincoln Southeast Knights. Shout out to my guy, Joey Warning. And we're staying in the Big 12, and I'm taking Bengat Dak. 7-footer. He's, out of, Colorado basketball, weird spot. Honestly, whole athletic department, weird spot. AD is retiring. Don't know what the Dion thing is. Tad Boyle's still Tad Boylan. They went to overtime with Eastern Washington the other night. That's fine. But Bengat Dak, I mean, talk about a late bloomer. He wasn't getting high major offers until his senior, I think he played summer ball after his senior year at high school, and that's how he wound up at Colorado, if I remember right. Joey, I know you're not listening, but if you are, feel free to call. Hit
the text line.
Yeah, feel free, or just text me. One of the two. But late bloomer, he's averaging like 9 boards a game. It's still early. Plays hard. He's evolving. I already saw one like highlight package like get tweeted out like going to be a top target in the portal next year, and I'm like, I hate college basketball now. Like, this is really what people are posting. But we'll keep it a little more local. We got an Omaha guy, we got a Lincoln guy. Bengat Dak, 7-footer. We're getting some good positional size here.
That is another guy crossed off my center list. Jacob is taking 2 of them, but that's okay because I still have 5 more options in reserve. So
perfect.
The things you do when you're sitting watching college basketball late at night. We will take our first break of the show. Our starting lineups are set. We will pick 3 bench players and a coach. This is the Our Guys draft here on the Corner 3. Jacob Bigelow, Wilson Moore, Austin Oerman. Back in a moment.
Nebraska farmers, harvest is here and every gallon counts. That's why Sapp Brothers Petroleum launched the Go Big Red Fuel Giveaway. When you contract your fuel with Sapp Brothers, enter to win $1,000 in fuel credits. As Husker Country knows, the only thing stronger than the roar at Memorial Stadium is the drive of a farmer putting food on the table. Fuel your farm with Sapp Brothers Petroleum and enter to win $1,000 in fuel credits. Visit sappbros.net today. Sapp Brothers Petroleum. Fueling the heartland. Go Big Red.
If the power is out, traffic lights might be too. If you come across a dark intersection, treat it like a 4-way stop. See more tips at les.com/safety.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks. Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
This fall, Baumgars has everything you need to get your farm ready for the season. Stock up on livestock feed, deer corn, and pine shavings to keep your animals fed and your farm running smoothly. Need tools for your fall projects? Grab DeWalt power tools and grass seed to keep your fields in top shape before winter. From your barn to your backyard, Baumgars has you covered. Get ready for the season with everything you need to finish those fall fix-ups. Baumgars, field, farm, and fall fix-ups.
Are you looking to upgrade your equipment and keep cash in your pocket? Through October at Landmark Implement, get up to a 24-month waiver on select John Deere tractors and combines, or lock in a 2.9% fixed rate for 36 months, followed by a qualified standard rate for another 36 months. Whether you're thinking of this year's harvest or planning ahead, we've got a solution that works for your bottom line. Visit your local Landmark Implement for more details, or check us out at landmarkimp.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Schaefer's is celebrating its 79th anniversary with special rebates, financing, savings, and free delivery store-wide.
Update your home with innovative Samsung appliances and save up to an additional $900 with rebates. Samsung Innovation saves you energy and time with easy-to-connect appliance technology. Plus, during Schaefer's anniversary, get free delivery on your appliance purchase.
So hurry in during Schaefer's 79th anniversary event, going on now.
This is your year, where your team takes it all the way. Win way more than bragging rights at Warhorse Casino, where your love of the game could put $1 million in your pocket. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with prizes all season long. Weekly cash prizes up to $1,000 cash, season-long leaderboards, and a chance to win $1 million. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Back to the Corner 3 on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Austin Oerman.
That's right. Welcome back in. It is the Corner 3. Whether you are watching live or listening back via the podcast, really appreciate it. We do have our list up on the stream for you. You can see our beautiful faces. Not just me, Wilson Moore, Jacob Bigelow in the studio as well. But we are relatively diminutive down in the bottom corner. So you can see who it is we are picking. We are now through 5 rounds of the Our Guys in College Basketball 25-26 draft. We are on to round 6, and it is my pick to lead things off. So 3 bench picks and a coach remaining for the rest of us. I'm going to beef up my guard depth a little bit here, and I'm going to go in the Big Ten. I'm going to take Washington freshman J.J. Mandequit.
Okay.
Top 50 recruit. I kind of like what Danny Sprinkle is cooking. I'm not fully sold on the Huskies overall, but I think they're certainly better than they were last year. A couple other interesting names to pick from that roster potentially. But I think as far as freshmen go, Mandequit not going to be a one and done. Kind of a bigger bodied type of guard, listed 6'1", 196, kind of bulldog mentality. I think the shooting stroke looks good. He's handling the ball a lot for them. I think he can score if you look at his high school numbers. So whether or not he finishes the year, averaging the 6 assists per game that he is right now, we'll see. That's a big-bodied competitor who can shoot it and handle it a little bit. I like the versatility that he brings. So JJ Mandequit is my first bench pick. And Jacob, we turn it over to you.
All right. This is a blast from the past for some Nebraska sickos. He was a Nebraska target at one point when Matt Abdelmassi was still around. He played at Syracuse these past couple years. He is now the leading scorer for the UAB Blazers in the American Athletic Conference. I love an East Coast upper Northeast guard. Give me Chance Westry. I liked him coming out. He was a Nebraska target at one point, and now my worlds have collided as he is the leading scorer at I think around 18 a game for UAB. Setback for the Blazers earlier this week against Alabama State at home, but that's it's early for a reason, and Chance Westry, he's got some stuff to him too. Are you seeing a theme?
Seeing a trend?
You seeing a theme
trend
with my guards
There's
here?
a type.
Just some tough sons of guns playing for this hypothetical my guys team.
I like it. All right, Wilson, round out round 6 for us.
I'm going to go with a guy that I covered back when I was in Indiana. Never quite found his footing at IU. He is now a DePaul Blue Demon. I'm taking CJ Gunn.
CJ Gunn,
DePaul.
I always had a soft spot for him. I love the way he plays defense. In a story I wrote for the Indianapolis Star, I once compared his activity on defense to a boxer on the speed bag because he has the most active hands of an on-ball defender that you will see. He is just, and in theory, he is a good 3-point shooter. In theory, it hasn't always been the case in practice.
Yeah,
but
do we know CJ Gunn's career 3-point mark off the top of our heads?
We do not, but don't look it up.
I already looked it up.
Oh, no.
I already looked it up. CJ Gunn's career high from 3 came when he took 1.7 3-point attempts per game and shot 34%. At Indiana. DePaul last year, he almost tripled that volume to 5.5 attempts, shot 30%. This year, he is averaging 1 for 6 in 3 games for DePaul, a 28.2 career percent.
Okay. Hey, we got the battle for Chicago tonight. Northwestern DePaul. Northwestern was favored by like 5. We do, the battle for Chicago. I know like 5 people are really psyched for that. So yeah, I don't know if that's at I don't even know what DePaul's arena is called. Sad or new.
Playing Wintrust.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
The Wintrust
yes,
Center.
They share a home with the Chicago Sky. That's true. Yeah. So I don't know if it's at Wintrust or at whitewashed Welsh Ryan. But that's we do have the battle for Chicago this evening.
We have a time to sidebar here. Name an Indiana player in the last, say, 3 seasons who's most happy to be free of that program.
Bryson Tucker.
Yeah, he's got to be top of the list, doesn't he?
Yeah. Bryson Tucker's up there. See, Miles Rice is only there for a year, so does he really count? Mackenzie Mbako, maybe.
He was definitely a guy who you could see benefiting from a fresh start.
Yeah,
him and or Renew.
Yeah.
Renew got his touches and his points, but he looked miserable sharing a front court with Balo last year.
Yeah.
Maybe Mike Woodson's also happy to be free of Indiana.
Yeah.
As long as Mike Woodson has a cigar in one hand, he's doing just fine.
Should we allow Mike Woodson to coach with a cigar?
Yes.
Should we do that?
Yes.
I think you could compromise and allow him to bring back Victory cigars as Red Auerbach used to do.
Oh yeah. Like that was the dream he was selling to people in Bloomington. Like we're gonna hang another banner and we're smoking Victory cigars. That was the sales pitch for the Mike Woodson era.
I love it. All right, 2 players and a coach left to draft. Jacob, you are leading us off here in round 7.
We're going with another former Big Ten guy. This guy, speaking of the Mike Woodson era, he's now with a friend of me, Kenya Hunter, former Husker assistant down in Austin, Texas. I'm taking Cam Heide. I'm taking Cam.
He was on my big board.
Look, I'm stealing y'all's picks. I'm
stealing my Minnesota. You're stealing my Minnesotans, is what you're
Is
doing.
your board just guys from Minnesota? And that's just when you say, is your board just guys from Nebraska? Is your guys just board just guys from Nebraska? But no, give me Cam Heide. He is. Yeah. Do you want to? I mean, if like what's the cliche, the sneaky athletic cliche was a person, it would be Cam Heide. I don't really know how he's going to fit into the Sean Miller experience in Austin this year. But then again, I don't really know how anyone fits into the Sean Miller experience, because it's bring your brooms, because it's a mess. But I need some, I need a spark plug off the bench who can make like a highlight reel play. So for that reason, I'll take Cam Heide.
Let's check in on that Texas roster, just because it is indeed a mess. So the Texas roster expected to return Jordan Pope, Tremont Mark, Kendall Weaver, and Nick Cody. Other than that, you bring in, obviously, Cam Heide, Dalen Swain from Xavier, Modest Vocatitis from Florida Atlantic, Simeon Wilcher is on that team running point, and Lucina Traore from Long Beach State, who sat out last year, and then 3 freshman recruits. I don't know what a Sean Miller team looks like outside of like 2014-15 Arizona. I can tell you this Texas roster ain't it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Rondé Halls Jefferson ain't walking through that door.
No, he is not. And he can, and I know they were, you know what? Orange polos show, not as much as white dress shirts, sweat. And that's going to be dangerous for Sean. Texas basketball, even now in the small arena, I don't think there's there's not much enthusiasm for basketball in Austin right now. So
more likely to be in Austin, Texas in the next 5 years. Sean Miller, Steve Sarkisian.
That's tough.
That is tough.
Because I'm not buying the Sark to the Titans rumors. I think that was an agent leak, and I don't know why it was needed at this point. I'm really not buying it.
Yeah, I don't and that's the thing. Like there's much likely to be turnover with Texas football, though. Like, because that's what has the attention, and that's where the torches and pitchforks will show, as if there's a reason for Sark to get out of there. But yeah, so that's a tough one, though. It's probably a coin flip, really and truly. Because like the thing with Sean Miller is like he is now alienated 2 fan bases that they don't like him for different reasons, and like you kind of feel like this is probably the last stop. Like I don't know where he goes from here, and it's just like, yeah, Texas basketball, like, yeah, you got the SEC money, yeah, you're in Austin, but at what cost? Like it's so tough spot.
Tend to agree. All right, Wilson, we go back to you here in round 7.
Yeah, I need a big man off the bench, and I'm going to take a guy with stops at multiple SEC schools, and that's Nick Pringle.
Ooh,
Nick Pringle.
Okay.
All right.
What do you like about Nick Pringle?
Well, I need a lob threat. I like a guy who can come off the bench, get me some rebounds. Just a guy who can be put in the dunker spot, and just continue with my the theme around which I'm building this team, which is just tough and gritty.
I see it, because he was at Alabama and South Carolina.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. For me in round 7, I need some versatility here. I'm not sure exactly which direction I want to go quite yet. I think it's going to be another guard or like a 2-3 sort of hybrid here. I think what I'm going to end up doing is talking myself into Cole Rosario. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. Kansas needs him to be Con Knippel 2.0. I don't think he's quite ready yet. He might be a year away, but he's one of those guys that got the offseason rave reviews. Hasn't done much of anything to make a splash, but I think that's kind of the outlook for him. You look at his size, he's a pretty true 3, maybe could throttle down to the 2 a little bit at 6'5", 200, shooting at 30% from 3, but his track record is much better than that. And just a piece that I think Bill Self really needs to click. I still don't love that Kansas roster, but if someone is going to step up alongside Darren Peterson and Flory Badunga and give them kind of that third level of guy, I think it's probably going to have to be Cole Rosario. They tried a couple different experiences last year, and they didn't work out. I'm expecting Cole Rosario to really come on at the end of non-con into conference play and give Kansas a boost.
Yeah, they need it. I mean, they need it. I think that after a few years of being burnt by just throwing bags at highly sought after guys, Kansas's roster this year is like, we know Peterson is going to get his and get attention, and they hope that they can have like role guys like Rosario who can be on the perimeter, hit shots when needed, and then they're easy ones, not like what Peterson's been doing. So you hope that some of those guys come along, or it could be a long year for newly skinny Bill Self down in Lawrence.
Indeed. All right. Final round of the draft. Here's your bargain pick. Here's your Mr. Irrelevance of the night. Wilson, you lead us off in round 8.
Last pick. I got to take a guy from the great state of Minnesota.
Of course. Okay.
And this guy is not just from there. He also plays for the flagship university. And I'm taking Isaac Osama.
Nice.
Cherry, Minnesota. Iron Range represent.
There we go. Love it. I love it.
Yeah,
nice. Again, very on brand.
Just get some guy who can come off the bench, give me some athleticism, some shooting ability, just instant offense. Taking Isaac Osama.
Isaac Osama. I like it. All right. Final pick for me. I do think that I need some more size. I think I do need another big man. And this is where I'm going to go with the guy who is new to the Big Ten, but I think going to play a pretty key role. After the mess that this team had in the post last year, I do think he is a stabilizer, provides a lot of balance for this team. Christoph Tilley, the pride of Santa Clara last year, will not be asked to play much defense because it is officially optional in Columbus. I'm still not sold on Jake Diebler, the coach, but Christoph Tilley is a baller, stretch-ish sort of big man, again, coming from Santa Clara, walking double-double in a lot of ways. I don't know if he's a better prospect or talent than Aaron Bradshaw or Sean Stewart, but he at least knows what he is. And I think that goes a long way. More of a hypothetical stretch more than a, in practice stretch, shot 32% from 3 last year, not off to a great start on 4 attempts per game, which is probably too many for him. But I think that for the team that I'm building, if I need some interior scoring, he's essentially going to be my Ugnius Jerushavicius for this team. Whatever we get from him in stabilization off the bench as a secondary option is going to be big. Decent enough defender. I mean, he's averaged about a block a game for his career. Not really what I'm going to ask him to do. So I got Christoph Tilley rounding out my roster.
I like it. I'm keeping it committed to the bit. We got one more Nebraskan.
We are nothing
who's making
if not
the team.
committed to
We are nothing if not.
We're an hour in.
We
have to be.
We have to be. This is a fun fact that I shared in studio. The current leading scorer in all of Division I college basketball is a proud alumnus of Omaha Westside High School. He was at Omaha during the COVID season. Went down to D2 at Florida Southern or Florida Southeastern. It's a great D2 program. Dylan Travis played there too. They have some local ties. And he's now at Samford, and that is Jaden Booth. Get ready to learn Jaden Booth. John Calipari. The Samford Bulldogs are at Bud Walton Arena in Fayetteville tonight. Booth, 6'2" guard, can really shoot it. Averaging, it's like I've said it like ad nauseum. It's early, but he's averaging 27.7 points, 6 boards on 47% shooting as a 6'2" guard up from Omaha. So yeah, a lot of local flavor on team me. But like Wilson said, if we're nothing, we are committed to the bit.
I am here for it. All right. So the teams are there. They're on the screen. You can take a look at it. I'm actually going to defer my choice until later and let you guys go because I am wildly fascinated as to where you're going with the coaches. Wilson, first pick, the coach of your team. Your lead assistant, because obviously you're the head coach of your team.
Okay, yeah.
But your lead assistant will be...
Maybe this is too mainstream, but give me Matt Painter. That's,
Boo. I'm with it. That's fine. Whatever.
Boo.
I don't know. We didn't know we were picking coaches until
an
hour ago.
Oh.
But look, he's a guy who I trust with any collection of talent on a basketball team. I think I got guys who have his requisite, toughness and grit. And I think,
and one of his players.
Yes, and one of his players. He's got that too.
Package deal. Okay, so Matt Painter off the board. Jacob?
I'm also going to take a coach who I have one of his players, and that is Minnesota's own Nico Medved, because we're going to run pretty offense. We are going to run beautiful sets, and we're also just going to play tough D. It's going to be some aesthetically pleasing offense, great ball movement, motion. then we're just gonna defend hard. Like that's there may not be any junk or any like scheme. Just gonna play hard. Just go out there and play hard, defend. And if anyone listening to this knows anything about me, there would only have been like one other coach that could have been more on brand than me getting on my soapbox for Nico Medved. So here I am.
I think you could have taken that 4 or 5 different directions. I think that was always the odds-on favorite. But yeah, there are 4 or 5 guys I had in mind for your potential coach, which leaves me with 363 options.
Correct.
Here, out of 365, with 2 of them off the board. As I think through the style of play that my team is gonna be playing, primarily offensively oriented with a couple of dirty work sort of glue guys from there. Part of me wants to stick with one of my guys that I've liked for a while. Another part of me thinks I need to continue the theme of picking a coach that I have a player from their team on. And I think I'm going to end up doing that at the end of the day. I do think I'm going to end up taking Mark Pope, a guy that kind of burst onto the scene last year with Kentucky. I was skeptical of the hire to begin with, but again, I think we picked 3 really great offensive minds when it comes to the coaches that we selected. I do think that Mark Pope, the way his Kentucky teams play, very analytically based and analytically driven. Defense not optional, but with a guy like Otega Owe at the point of attack, Oscar Clough along the back line. My other guards, right? Isaiah Evans, go hunt your shots. Be better than Jackson Robinson. Anthony Roy, go score. Go get buckets. Joshua Jefferson can do some dirty work. Maybe even play some small ball 5 for me if we really want to get cooking. I don't know if Mark Pope is my favorite coach in college basketball. In fact, I can tell you that he's not. But I think in terms of my roster and what I'm looking at, I think Mark Pope can do the most with the league.
Got to match the scheme with the personnel, right?
You
And,
do.
I don't have a good Patino voice, but my dear friend, Mark Pope, Kentucky's own captain, my dear friend, Mark Pope. That's my attempt at a bad Patino voice, but yeah, that's a good pick. Your team's gonna have to study up on some Taylor Swift lyrics, but it's still a good call with Mark Pope.
All right, we will go over the teams when we get back, wrap up with some news and notes. We'll be back one final time on the Corner 3.
After a long, hot summer, are you ready for fall? What about your home? Is your heating system ready for cooler temperatures ahead? Call Bryant for your fall heating check. No matter what brand of equipment you own, Bryant's trained technicians will thoroughly clean and inspect your furnace or heat pump to make sure you stay warm, safe, and comfortable. Call today to schedule your home heating check. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle. It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier power sports dealership. Get geared up for savings like you've never seen before during Elway Days. Their biggest sale of the year runs October 14th through the 18th when every red tagged machine is priced at invoice plus $300. That's it. No freight, no setup, no extra fees. Don't miss out on these epic savings. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered all under one roof with a large selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, motorcycles, and personal watercraft at their 27th and I-80 location.
Imagine hitting rewind on your life 10, even 20 years. With testosterone therapy from Limitless Male, you can turn back the aging clock and get your edge, energy, and confidence back. If you've lost your drive, sleep deprived, muscle loss, belly fat, irritable, you're not the guy you once were. Get your T levels checked at Limitless Male. More and more men are realizing hormone replacement can turn back the clock. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmale.com.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Husker fans know when you work together, great things happen. At Cornhusker Bank, they're more than your financial partner. With 5 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Omaha, they're your neighbors, your teammates, and your biggest fans. Whether you're saving for your first home, planning your future, or growing your business, they're right here in Nebraska to help you move forward together. Visit cornhusker.bank to learn more. Cornhusker Bank, member FDIC, doing life together.
Deciding on a college with your high school senior can be a little overwhelming for parents. But applying for money to pay for it is simple. FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, is now easier than ever with fewer questions and faster fill-out times. If you have a high school senior, now is the time to apply for thousands of dollars for classes, books, and housing. Get started, Nebraska, at dothefafsa.org. Sponsored by Education Quest Foundation. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to the Corner 3 on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Austin Oerman.
Welcome back in, indeed, to the Corner 3, shorter one, rounding out our proceedings here tonight. Jacob Bigelow and Wilson Moore in the studio with me as well. Make sure you give both those guys a follow on Twitter as well. That'll all be in the show notes down below. We probably had some names left over, gentlemen. Wilson, we'll start with you. Who was potentially left on the cutting room floor for your big board?
The aforementioned Bryson Tucker was on there.
Okay.
I like his game. His mid-range game was perfectly suited to Mike Woodson's brand of 1983 basketball. But now he's actually shooting threes at Washington, and I like his size. I like his shooting ability. He's the kind of guy. He's got tools. I think he's gonna be good.
Toolsy. There it is.
Yeah, I'm the first name off the cutting room floor for me. Another former Big Ten guy, and another guy playing for a friend of mine. Shocking, right? Kerry Booth, who is now a Colorado State Ram, former Illinois wing. I have some personal reasons to be in on the Kerry Booth reclamation project, but he's back close to home, out in Fort Collins this year, and I think he'll be fun in the Mountain West.
The 4 guys for me that I was probably next closest to taking, Michael Brown at Louisville, fun player, lottery guy, almost assuredly. Not a lottery guy in any world, but a guy that I got familiar with at the College Basketball Crown, Finley Bizjack. He is still around, Bizjack and threes at Butler. So
also just all first team all name,
and he looks the part.
Bizjack.
Oh yeah.
He looks like a Finley Bizjack, and he plays
like a Finley
Bizjack. Tunde Yesufu from Baylor on my list, and then Magoon Gwath as my center. It was in the Bangot Dak category for me, but
yeah, and a late honorable mention, and he could make a case to be on this team next year. Mario Saint-Superi at Gonzaga, and that is not recency bias, just because of how he looked against a certain local team the other night. First team all-name team coming over from Spain. So you know he's fundamentally sound. He's got a layup package. Being a guard from Spain, so he was an honorable mention as well. He's still a freshman though. He's got to prove himself.
Other games I think to monitor over the weekend. We'll start with tonight at the time of the recording this sort of slate here tonight. Maryland Eastern Shore continues the in-state trip. They are taking on Creighton, Michigan, and TCU. Where are we at on Jamie Dixon and TCU, gentlemen?
Tough start to the year. Losing, you lose to New Orleans at home. New Orleans beat them at home, and then they found out we're going to have TCU's colors like 3 days later. They're like, oh, we're in the LSU system now. We're going to be a purple school. So that's the
9-point shaving New Orleans Privateers now.
Correct,
by the way.
correct. And I feel like Jamie Dixon, like it's. When you tell people he's at TCU, like people are like, "Oh, that's where he is now." Like it's
alma mater, baby.
Yeah, alma mater. Still with plenty of product in that hair too. More product in the hair than product on the floor for TCU basketball. It's an interesting. Yeah, they're not what they were within the last couple of years. They were close to beating was it Arizona a couple years ago in the tournament.
Yes, I believe it was.
They were playing in San Diego at SDSU's arena.
Oh, Creighton loses the jump ball on GameCast. Maryland Eastern Shore after a rip-roaring start. Sorry, continue.
They're huge.
It's over.
Huge. It's never been more over for look at the Shore Hawks.
Over under jump balls won for Rink Mass this year. If I said the number at 1.5,
under.
If I said it at 0.5, does he get one on accident?
Does he get one?
I'll say yeah on one of those where like they both go up and neither get it and they just kind of bat it around.
Yeah.
What's weird is Berke was taking the jump balls the first couple of games and now it's Rink. I don't like Berke is A, taller, and B, you gotta figure at least a little springier because he's not coming off knee surgery.
My favorite stat, maybe in college basketball history, is Jahlil Okafor winning 0 jump balls all year until the national championship game.
Yeah. Jahlil Okafor, he can't get away from Keisei Tominaga. They were G League teammates last season, and now they are teammates in Japan. So
from G League teammates to J League teammates? Is that the tagline?
Jahlil Okafor and Keisei Tominaga. I need that buddy cop movie. I need a camera crew following those two around in between games in Japan.
Wilson, I know you were rather Michigan inclined on our interview today at 12:30 on the program. Interesting game against Wake Forest. They were down. Wake comes back. Michigan does it. Why are you so in on Michigan? Are they just on your mind? Are you in on them? What is it with the Wolverines?
I have a soft spot for for double big schools like that. Is like Dusty May is out there saying I'm gonna have 2 7-footers in the starting lineup again, and I'm like, you do you, Dusty May. Like, go be crazy. Like
the Big Ten is strong in you.
Yeah.
Other interesting games tonight. Colgate, the dentist, taking on Illinois. That'll be a Big Ten plus sort of game. A couple other interesting games. Gonzaga playing a road game at Arizona State. And maybe the headliner here in the Hall of Fame series. I did not know this was a thing, but the Hall of Fame series in Los Angeles. The Pac-12 is back. It is not dead. Get yourselves to Peacock late tonight. Arizona and UCLA. How in are we on Mr. 3-piece suit, Mick Cronin?
I am not.
I'm not either. Yeah. I know. All I'll say about that matchup is I know that Bill Walton will be smiling somewhere. He will be smiling from the
Grateful Dead tour in the sky.
He will be eating a candle off of a cupcake in the sky when UCLA Arizona gets underway tonight at the Intuit Dome. That's a neutral site or two at the Intuit Dome.
I actually don't hate UCLA. Maybe I'm Donovan Dent-pilled and maybe I'm too high on Tyler Bilodeau, but the other guy that was left off of my you got to know him guys team is Eric Daly, who somehow is still around. That's a guy with 5-star pedigree who can stretch the floor adequately enough. I did not like UCLA's guards last year. I don't understand why Xavier Booker is still a thing, but sure, if you're a backup big, fine, Xavier Booker, knock yourself out. But Dent, Daly, Bilodeau, I can work with that as a quote unquote, big three. Arizona's better. They're going to win the game. I'm not as far out on UCLA.
I just didn't think UCLA was the sum of its parts last year.
I
thought
agree.
that was a team that collective took way too long to realize Ade Mara was its best player. And man, look at me in Michigan.
Here we are again.
Big Blue Willie here. Go Blue Willie over here. Yeah, I'm with you though, Austin. I'm Donovan Dent pilled too. As the resident Mountain West sycophant in this room, I watched plenty of Donovan Dent at New Mexico. But yeah, coaching matters, and I don't know. Yeah, Cronin, at least you're gonna have to get your popcorn ready for some pressers. I'm sure tonight will be must see.
Coming up tomorrow at the Fog, you have Princeton visiting Kansas, a game that I think would have been more interesting last season or even 2 years ago. The headliner, of course, though, tomorrow night is UConn and BYU. Quasi-home game for UConn, this game being played at the TD Garden. But, of course, it's the A.J. Debansa Bowl as Debansa makes his return to Boston. Wilson, I know you and I were up close and personal for the media seating there with Nebraska and BYU. Did that game change your outlook on BYU, A.J. Debansa, or anything?
I mean, it was cool seeing him in person. And he was about what I expected him to be, which is just big, can run dudes over, get to the rim, and knock down threes. I think, there was nothing about him that made me think anyone else should be the number 1 overall pick this June. Obviously, there's a long season ahead of us, but I think I believe in BYU. I believe in him. I believe in Richie Saunders.
The important part of that team is Richie Saunders. So
absolutely.
Then we fast forward to Sunday. Barnburg. Apparently, this is in something called the Battleground 2K25 in Birmingham. Auburn gets a closer to home game against number 1 Houston in what could have been a Final Four matchup last year. Bracket didn't break that way. Could have been the national championship matchup. Didn't break that way either. Jacob, we'll start with you. Does Stephen Pearl get the first signature victory of maybe dozens?
I don't ask for much. Kelvin Sampson, I know you're not going to hear this.
We can make sure he hears it.
You have one job, Houston basketball. I need you to stomp a mud hole in Stephen Pearl on Sunday afternoon, please. Just for the sake of the sport, for the sake of my psyche, for the sake of just... There's a lot going on in Auburn, Alabama right now. There's a lot of weird places in the SEC. There's a lot going on in Auburn, Alabama. We don't have all night. I ask of this one thing, Kelvin Sampson, please, just no mercy. Foot on the throat of Auburn basketball on Sunday. I want it. I need it, and that is all I ask. I don't need the idea of Stephen Pearl signature victories. He can be working comms in the Senate in a couple years. He does not need to be the head coach of an SEC basketball program.
Stephen Pearl, chief of staff, still not a higher calling than Stephen Pearl, Auburn basketball head coach. Probably. The other interesting game tomorrow, or a Sunday rather, for me, is Miami and Florida. Really the first test for Jay Lucas and Florida. This is another guy that I considered way down the ballot for my guy as coach. I only got 1 year with Jay Lucas. It was not enough, maybe a couple years with him. But Miami ain't played nobody. Beat Jacksonville, Bethune, and Stetson. Another sneaky, interesting roster. First-time head coach against a national champion and a team that brings a lot back in Florida. Certainly, you lead in the Gators in this in-state matchup, but Trey Donaldson is down there. That's where Malik Renew ended up. Ernest Uday Jr. is still playing college basketball. True Washington there as well. And a Duke decommit that actually followed Jay Lucas to Coral Gables and Shelton Henderson has played a role early on for that team. It's not going to happen. Wilson, I don't know if you caught last week's episode or not, but I am out on Florida.
Really?
They are my pick for
That
the top
quickly?
10 team that... No, this was even before the year.
Okay.
This is Arizona factored in, but not the reason why. Don't love the guards. You're banking on Boogie Fland and Xavier Lee. Alex,
I like Boogie Fland. I thought he had a good year at Arkansas.
Fine.
With a
Nothing more.
weirdly constructed team around him. I thought he did what he could as the point guard there.
He could, but I also think this is a weirdly constructed Florida team.
Yeah.
If they had Aberdeen or Will Richard back, I might buy in. But Alex Condon's not a 3. Thomas Houck is fine. Handlogden and Chinyelu are good on their own. But I think Florida's just big. I think they're just big. And I like Golden. I like the analytic style that he plays. I don't think this team is built for it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm out on Florida, so I'm hoping for the Miami upset.
Yeah, no, I mean, we were kind of in a similar thought on Florida last week. I'll throw this one in. I never want to diagnose anyone's, how you're feeling about yourself or how you may, if you want to watch the equivalent of like a prison brawl on a basketball floor, Marquette, Maryland on Sunday. If you want to watch the equivalent of a street fight, the Buzz Williams Classic, Marquette and Maryland. That's coming up this weekend. There's also the Steve Lutz Bowl, Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, and Oklahoma State. There's all sorts of these ties. There's all sorts of stuff. And then, of course, there's something going on in Sioux Falls tomorrow. But that's a little too close to the vest. Too local to talk about.
6 p.m. Nebraska and Oklahoma. I'm sure we will have post-game recap on Monday. Wilson, safe travels up there.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Enjoy your time at the Pentagon.
Sure, I will. That place rocks. It's a great place to watch a game.
It really, really is. Maybe that's our underrated venue. Our guys, the venue, the Sanford Pentagon. We nailed it. We come full circle. For Wilson Moore, for Jacob Bigelow, this is Austin Oerman signing off. Thank you all for listening. We'll be back again soon.